Hey everybody, it's time to swing. We're still swinging, and I'm your host Thomas. And today, family, we got my boy Suge Knight up. All right, look, Suge said that P Diddy knew he was coming, seen him, and he hopped his ass up under that limo. All right, Suge said they was getting out of his way. All right, he had a problem with Ray J because Ray J was pushing up on his son trying to act tough. And Suge let him know, look, this is what it is to be a Pyru. You just can't say you won. All right. And he talked about what happened in the Miami incident when Ali Zoe Adams shot him. You know what I'm saying? So look, family, without further ado, right? We get ready to hop into my boy Suge. Shout out to the Art of Dialogue. Fair use, family. Let's get into this.
Well, as you know, all the awards is fake. I always knew when my artist was going to win and not going to win because if I showed up aggressively enough or if people pay enough money, anybody can win an award. All the awards are fake. They're bought. They're not earned. So at that time, Pac never won an award. So I made sure Snoop won the Artist of the Year. He beat out R. Kelly. Y'all remember that?
That's crazy, family. You know why? Because I never knew those awards was fake. You know what I'm saying? And it make me look at them in a whole different light now. You know what I'm saying? I really thought it go to show it's politics and everything, ain't it? You feel me? Cash rules. All right. And sometimes it's muscle.
You go back and look at that footage when Snoop had the burgundy rag on his head. But anyway,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I wanted to make sure Pac won an award, and Pac was going to win an award. We knew everybody was going to be at that award, and we always have an after party after the awards. So we know what it was. They know what it was. And we probably had, I don't know, I didn't count head for head, but it could have been 80 or more or a little less of everybody from Compton wearing burgundy sweatshirts with Peak Folk on the back. Then we had a whole busload of the homies from the Bay Area. Then Pac was in the car with me in the Hummer. Pac had on army tees. So everybody came there with what they was coming to do, see who's who. But I don't know. I can't go on facts because I don't know this. But the police was waiting on us. When we got ready to pull in and get to the Soul Train Awards, they didn't want to let us in because I guess they knew we was coming, and they even told Puffy and them we was on the way. Puffy ran and slid under a limo. We arguing with the police.
Yo, Puffy wasn't the only one. Listen, Suge had a serious reputation around this time. And if you was coming to Cali and your name was ringing any kind of bells, Suge and his peoples was going to be coming to see you. You feel me? Suge felt like if you was coming through LA, you needed to be doing some kind of business with Suge. All right. And look, they was terrified of him. He said Diddy ran and hopped his ass up under the limo. Look, a lot of them jokers was getting somewhere. It wasn't just Diddy.
The Moodles was there. Everybody was there. You know, to express ourselves. It was a guy who was with Puffy and Bad Boy.
Family, you gotta remember, back then they was real CEOs. You feel me? Making some real money. You get where I'm coming from. So family, it was a lot to be gained, a lot more than it is to be gained now. And they was really selling records back then. You feel me? This wasn't the time. It was a different time, family. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no downloading the song or just going on whatever site and playing it. No, if you wanted to play your favorite artist song, you had to go to the store and buy his CD or buy it from the bootlegger. Either way, you wasn't getting it free.
In camp, they was paying the South Sides. So he whip out a gun, and shit, we ain't worried about no gun, you know what I mean? Because everybody right, if you know what I mean. Plus, the police all there, LAPD. But you know, I think those LAPD dudes always had a relationship with those dudes. So they pull their weapons out, could take the gun from him, handcuff him. I don't know if he went to jail or got time behind it, but you know, it's still the smoke travels. And according to Keefy D, that smoke thick as a motherfucker. So that's all it was. We ended up going, changing our clothes and going to the after party. Before we go to the after party, we go to Monty's, of course. And one of those dudes who messed with Puffy and them was there. And Pac knew him. He said, man, they fuck with them. And then one of my guys, he said, he know them. I said, man, this dude's, he from New York, but this is my brother. You know, we the same. He with us. So all those things happened. All those things occurred. And the footprints was already in the mud. So I don't know why they act like it was surprising and blame me for killing Tupac. I don't know why it was surprising to send me to prison where they couldn't even give me a violation, to the fact that that same case come back and hunt me now. I'm in court right now. I'm not the Menendez brothers. I didn't kill my parents, but I'm in court right now because they violated my rights of me and go per. I ain't never had a public defender lawyer ever in my whole history. I had paid lawyers, and the judge on record says, I don't think your lawyer is experienced enough. And I paid her. He said, I'm firing her. She said, well, my partner has been practicing for 35 years. I don't care. He fired my paid attorney and said I had to get a guy named LeBlanc, who been his friend for 40 years, and he a public pretender. And they did not allow me to go to trial. They're not.
You know what that means? That's AKA he was broke. Family, the judge can't make you take a public defender. Out of the question. Okay? He was broke. That's why he never had a public defender before in his life, because he was rich when he started getting in trouble. Suge Knight didn't start getting in trouble until he was rich. That's when he started catching his cases. Okay? Now he know what it was like to be poor and catch a case. He couldn't afford an experienced attorney. He was trying to go with one of them lawyers fresh out of college so he could say he got a lawyer. But the judge like, no, she can't represent you in a case like this. She don't have no experience. This our first case out. No, you need a better lawyer or I'm going to report you public counsel. He couldn't afford another lawyer. All right, it's called you broke, Suge.
Allow me to have a trial. Now, if ASAP Rocky can get off, I'd have been free like OJ all day, but I wasn't given that opportunity.
See, ASAP Rocky rich. That's the difference. You poor. ASAP Rocky rich. I mean, you're not poor like ghetto poor, because I'm sure Suge gonna always be receiving some kind of income. But you gotta remember, the kind of income that would be okay to most people, not for Suge. Okay, you gotta understand. All right, his lifestyle. Suge running through some change every month. That little money Suge got coming in can't hold him. You feel me? And the lifestyle he accustomed to living to. That's why he keep pushing up on people for money. That's how he in the situation that he in. He was trying to push up on Dr. Dre for some money for shooting that movie because he don't have no money. All right? Listen, Suge was big, super large. That's what you call going from ashy to classy back to ashy.
Opportunity. They didn't even let my kids come to court. But my people ain't Rihanna. They can bring their children to court. So we got to get this right.
Family, you got somebody like Suge talking about my people ain't Rihanna. You know how big he was? You know how large he was? He's sitting here talking like that. My people ain't Rihanna. Bro, his people ain't supposed to have to be Rihanna. He had it all. Bro, this man was sitting on top of the world when he was 29 years old. He was a mogul. He was getting it done. You know what he thought he should be doing? Acting like a gangbanger. He on 9 years probation for pistol whipping some dudes in the studio over using the telephone without his permission. Because some people, bro, when they get a position and they in power, bro, they become tyrants. And that's what Suge was. He was a tyrant. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he was on that probation to begin with. Then knowing you on probation, you got $100 million business to run. This man making $40, $50 million a year at the time. He in the MGM Grand. Jumping some street dude who ain't worth $5,000 with a bunch of dudes who all of them together ain't worth $10,000. He filthy rich. He in the MGM Grand on camera jumping some dude and threw everything away.
And now, the law don't supposed to be blind.
He went to jail for 9 years. Family, in case you ain't know, you go to jail for 9 years, you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose everything. He came back. He could never get it back. All right, because he lost everything. All the ties that he had built, severed. They was gone. They couldn't help him no more. He had been out the game too long. All right, that's how it is.
Everything good between both of y'all? I know you was telling me that, he wasn't really a Pyru. What you mean by that?
Well, first of all, last time we spoke, I didn't want to be on Ray J. I said, Ray J need prayer. We need to pray for him because I don't want to be the one to push him over the edge. He hang himself or something. But
you know what, family? Ray J just the type of dude, right? That if he decided to do himself in, it wouldn't surprise me. I know what you're saying, like, yo, how you gonna say something? That wouldn't surprise me, like the kind of dude he is. Like, I think he's fragile. You know what I'm saying? Like he listen, Ray J one of those dudes who think he got this, people got an image of him that they don't have of him. Ray J think he got a gangster persona. Ray J, one of those dudes that don't know he a joke. He believe his own hype. You know what I'm saying? He one of those dudes that you keep looking at him going, bro, if you was half of that dude you thought you was, you would be like that. You know what? He ain't even half of the dude he think he is. Ray J, like he fronting to the, like he know if Ray J did himself in, it just, I would feel bad for him, but it wouldn't surprise me.
First and foremost, I don't think Ray J is all to blame. His whole get down been a scam, and Ray J into shit he shouldn't be in. And I don't know why, but it's funny that all the little dudes who 5'5" and 5'6" or whatever, I don't care if they artists, guitar players, manager, whatever, all the short guys have a problem with Mr. Knight. It's not my fault. I am not your daddy. I didn't make you short. Don't be mad at me. But one thing you better remember, when we get older, you might start off like me. I can start
He said, I ain't make you short. Don't be mad at me.
off at 6'4". I'll start getting older, you lose an inch or two. So don't be mad at short people. Get shorter. But for me personally talking about Ray J, oh, by the way, Ray J.
Yo, I remember I seen Ray J. Yo, I didn't know he was that little, yo. That's a little dude, bro.
Y'all trying to bully my son? Hey, he's a good kid. He wasn't raised like that. You know what I mean? So when y'all call him and threaten him or say I'm not his father and put a picture of him and another nigga on there saying that's his father, I love all my kids. And I know that boy is my son. But even if he wasn't my son, or any of my kids wasn't mine, I done took care of them. I love them. I support them. And God will give me even a bigger blessing to take care of a child and raise a child and look out for him, even the fact that I didn't make him. But to try to bully him, that's some weirdo shit. So, you know, all y'all need to take a break and eat some milk, drink some milk.
He called Ray J out for a fade. Ray J turned that down like a collar.
And cookies. That soft shit. But back to Ray J saying he from Peru.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It's not up to me to say who from Peru ain't from Peru. But I tell you this, if you are from Peru, what are you doing for the Perus? Are you getting anybody lawyers? Are you having anybody in prison?
That's a cry for help. He begging. He a Pyru. He's saying, Ray J, if you a Pyru, come and help me out.
Are you at the hood days that y'all want to say Bompton? Are you? What are you doing? So I think
he ain't doing shit because you know he ain't no damn Pyru. Let's get this straight, man. Ray J ain't no Pyru. I don't give a damn where he was born at. When Ray J was a little boy, he was on TV. He wasn't in Watts. He wasn't in Compton, and he was still a little boy. All right? Ray J grew up on TV. His sister was world famous when she was a kid. He was her little brother. They wasn't in Watts no more. He don't remember shit about Watts. Compton, none of that. Okay? He grew up wealthy, bro. He grew up wealthy. That ain't got nothing to do with where his parents is from and what his parents had to go through. All right, look. Ray J been on TV since he was a kid. He ain't no Pyru. He ain't no Pyru. They just say that so when they see him, they can push up on him and beg him for something. That's soft extortion. You know you a Pyru. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been looking out for the homies. You gotta do something for the homies and all of that weird stuff right there. You know that they got going on up there. You know what I'm saying? Unless he want to have to run into a full extra, and he know he don't want to run the fade.
there's more to it. Just to say you a gang member, are you from Peru?
So if you saying you a gang member and you from Peru, and you gotta remember, he be running around with Whack 100. So you know about how much of a Pyru he is.
And you're not showing the love to the Perus. So I have no idea. I know this. I know.
Suge need to go ahead with some of this funky stuff. He broke because he know damn well Ray J ain't no pirate. He gotta keep that title because that's the only way of begging him. If Ray J ain't a pirate, he ain't got no pipeline to beg him through. So he can beg him through this pirate. Look, you supposed to be a homie. I'm a homie. I need you. Come and help me out.
They surroundings show they not from Piru, because I can't picture a real Piru scared to go anywhere, even by himself. I can't picture a real Piru who turning down his phase. If you say you from Piru and motherfuckers calling you out and want to run it.
Suge Knight's son called Ray J out for the fade. Ray J turned that down. So he's saying, look, you know, you supposed to get DP. But he ain't gonna get DP. You know why? Because he ain't nowhere near no damn body hood. He ain't going nowhere near no damn body hood. All right? He don't got them politics. Because he ain't no damn pirate.
If you ain't running, that's a DP. Don't be mad at me. Understand the politics. A real Piru is not going to be talking about somebody who's dead. A real Piru is not going to be talking about somebody in prison.
So then if you know all this shit, you know he ain't a real Piru, but you need him to be one to beg him.
Because if I'm in prison, I ain't there to pull up on you. You damn sure can't pull up on me. So talking bad about people who's not there to have that understanding is weirdo shit. But even though I'm in prison, and if your heart aches that much that you want to run it, I can stand and ride up and go to the hole. You can come fill out a visiting form, come in the visiting room, and I can express myself with you. If we ain't...
Listen, Suge is 6'4", well over 300 pounds. Ray J, what is he, about 5'5", maybe 5'6", maybe $120. You want him to come fill out a visiting form and run a shoot it with you, shoot a fade with you. Yeah, okay.
Talking about doing none of that. I love everybody out there, especially the homies. Stay focused on yourself. Need real.
All right, family. Look, I'm kicked out of the algorithm, family. So ain't many people gonna see this video. Make sure you smash that like button. I should be coming off punishment soon because I've been kicked out of the algorithm for a month. And I'm kicked out way worse than I was kicked out last time. I don't get no views.
This is a story that's been going around for a while now that you and the guys you was with attacked Dre. Can you give me the backstory behind that?
Well, first of all, he wasn't on stage. And I was at the Battle Awards. I just had parole from prison. And while he was accepting this award, Quincy was up there talking. As he was talking, he was like, well, you know, getting the details, saying he was a producer and whatnot. And Andre was sitting there with his family, with his wife or whatnot. And somebody came up to him, and when they shined the light on him, they was like, well, this person going to get this award. And they, you know, shined the light on him and got everybody's attention. He got socked about 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And the Yellow Jackets came and grabbed him and pretty much handcuffed him and took him out of there. At that point,
when the Joker say you got socked 4, 5, 6, 7 times, that means you got that means you got gunned out in that piece. All right, he said Joker walked up to Dr. Dre and gunned his ass out.
all those dudes and all those tough guys there told the police on me. Police came to, like they was going to take me to jail. I'm already on parole, you know. So on that Monday, my PO called me in, and that changed my parole conditions. The reason why I was really bad they changed my parole conditions because we had some unfinished business. Like on my publishers at Time Warner, they recruit publishing that it wasn't his publishing. And I couldn't deal with the situation because when they made it one of my parole conditions, if myself or a lawyer or anybody know me, talk to him or anybody that know him, I get a year violation, a bullet. And it makes sense to me. So I was telling my parole officer, like, hey, he's not a baby mother. He's not a battered woman. How is all this coming at me like this? But it did. That just show you this deck is always stacked against a real one, you know?
And I know when I interviewed Ali Adam, he told
Yeah, this deck always stacked against a real dumbass because you shouldn't be in there. Family, this dude had it all. He had it all. He wanted to be a gangbanger. He wait till he rich and famous to want to be a gangbanger. This the fate of a gangbanger? Bro, you're going to be in a penitentiary or you're going to be dead if you're going to be a gangbanger. All right, and you trying to be real. All right, I would be gangbanging like Ray J. Hell no, I ain't no gangbanger. You want to know what I'm gangbanging? Them cheeks. I'm gangbanging cheeks. All right, that's it. By myself, not no, none of that. No. I'm banging cheeks. That's it.
me that when you got shot in Miami, that was the reason why. Because of what you did at the Vibe Awards. And Quincy Jones, he was behind that. So, you know, they felt a type of way about that.
Suge about to come to Miami. Bah! More Suge in Miami in the Red Room Shore Club, a 5-star hotel, but basically know how to swing around there. Kanye West party, you know, and you know, him and Petey Pablo there. I talked to Petey Pablo like 2 weeks after that, and you know what I'm saying, walked around. When I walked around, I saw Jim Jones and Chrissy. I'm like, hey man, y'all go ahead. Chrissy damn near G'd up. She could just tell by my look, man, go ahead, man. She like, babe, let's go. He like, man, let's go. Chrissy, take him and go. So, you know, walk around, hit Suge in the little thigh, ain't nothing. Take a little picture, go home, you know, he yell, ah! And I'm like, listen to this fat bitch, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, I don't know him. Obviously, he know me. And shit, if he shot me, more power to him. But I didn't say this. Well, one, I don't know him. Two, I don't know why he's saying that, but
Look, Suge must have heard my video I done on him. All right, because this not the story he gave last time. Last time he said it wasn't Ali that did it. Check my catalog. It's in there. He gave him a different story now. All right, he must have heard my video because I told you. Listen, once I heard Ali say he done that, I told y'all Suge gonna say he ain't do that. Why? Because you know who Suge's supposed to be, right? Ali did that to him. And then Ali said he ran into Suge after that. And Suge still ain't do nothing. Okay? So I said, listen, Suge, it's no way Suge can say Ali did that. Because Ali saw him after he done that and he still ain't do nothing. So Suge was saying, look, he ain't do that. Now he's saying, if he did it, you know, I don't know who he is. Now, because people like, yo, you knew him, and I don't, now he don't know him. He changed the story, fam.
Yes, I gotta say, either I'm just blessed by God or I'm just blessed it was a coward. Because I heard people talk about that. But in Miami, I never seen who shot me because nobody came up and shot me. Somebody fired and shot, and I got shot in the leg.
See, he saw my video. Because I said, when he said, start talking about it wasn't Ali, I said, how would he know? Whoever did it came up behind him and did it. He wouldn't know who done it. You feel me? Why? Because I got hit like that before. Somebody came up behind me and hit. You feel me? I don't know who it was. They was running. Once I got, you know what I'm saying? I told you, Suge didn't know who did that.
You know? And then when I turned around, they was running. So I wouldn't have, you know. Well, good thing about it, at least he was a coward. Because me, if I'm going to shoot somebody, I'm going to be real personal with it. I'm going to have blood on my face. Or somewhere. It ain't going to be my blood. But, you know, that make him feel good about himself. I can't say everybody got a position somewhere. We was in Miami like I usually be in Miami. Went to the short club. Went to the short club. When they see me coming in, all the police came out and told me I can't bring no guns in there and search me and search my homie. And once we got in there, you know, just a little moving around and done different, you know, same old shit. And shit, that's basically it. Nobody came to approach me. Nobody came around. I know I was talking to somebody, and the gunshot went off. I got hit like in the leg, in the back of my leg. I turned around, and everybody was running. But
I wasn't yelling, though. I wasn't screaming and yelling like Ali said Suge was.
Crazy thing about that, the police came and handcuffed me.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was because I saw so much blood. I thought it was worse, a lot worse than it really was.
I was like, is that right?
But I wasn't doing no yelling.
So it took like an hour.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And another hour or something to get to the hospital. But all in all, they tried to sue me. All in all, they wrote some crazy letters. The people who own the short club, they was like, well, we glad he got shot because he a Crip. That nigga's a Crip. That's all that nigga is, a gangbanging Crip, and we glad he got shot. And the crazy thing about this when it happened, I had to be really in the dark because instead of me getting mad at the fact that these white people called me a nigga, I was more mad at the fact that they called me a Crip, which is stupid. You know? I was like,
yeah, bro, because you were stupid. You know why? Because you looked at yourself like you really was the N-word. But you ain't no Crip. And you ain't appreciate them calling you a Crip. But you really was the N-word in your mind. So you ain't had no problem with them calling you what you was. You had a problem with them calling you something you wasn't. And you wasn't no Crip. But you, in your mind, you was an N-word. Because that's what go on in the mind of a psychopath. You feel me? When you got ghetto logic, ignorance makes sense. When you deal with street codes and ghetto logic, they demand that you fail and that you lose. All right, you can't move through the world with that and win. You can only lose if you plan on moving through life, making those kind of decisions using ghetto logic and street codes. All right, you will perish.
right. They called me a Crip. I ain't no Crip, right? I should have been mad because they called me a nigga. So the dude on the short club and the model chick, they some racists. Some real cold racists. And they brought Kanye in it because it was Kanye party. And then they was like asking Kanye, do he know what good music is? He in the oath. He said he never heard of that. And so I get on the white people. It's like, hey, don't be, the lawyer basically, don't be trying to harass Kanye. Leave it alone. So all in all, it's a whole bunch of racist people. All in all, if somebody can shoot me, and the police give them a medal, or honor, they cigars, I understand. Only when it comes to me. Only in America. That's that, you know. I don't know no bitch-ass nigga named Ali Adams, whatever. But
I believe Suge know exactly who Ali is. I believe that dude know exactly who Ali is, all right? And he know Ali told everybody he seen him after that and he ain't do nothing. All right? Because trust me, if word got to me that Ali done it, word got to Suge ASAP that Ali done it. He knew Jimmy was behind it and Ali done it. I knew Jimmy was behind it and Ali done it. So before Ali said this, this wasn't no secret. So Suge pretended. He know exactly who Ali is. All right, don't let him tell you that.
I'm quite sure we're going to have a conversation as soon as I'm home.
That's why the first time he said Ali didn't do it. Because he know who Ali is.
But the Vibe Awards was in my house. That motherfucker was in, the Vibe Awards was in the West Coast, on the West Coast. I think a few East Coast dudes tried to put that on. I put that on. I was fresh out on parole. And Quincy Jones was giving Andre an award. While he was giving him an award, they stopped everything and shined the light on Andre. He was there with his wife and his family or whatever. Only thing I know is this. Somebody went over there and socked.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Somebody went over there and socked on him about 5 or 6, 7 times. And the Yellow Coast security had to get him off of it. I know this.
Bro. I remember that awards. Y'all remember that awards, family? Look, I ain't know what happened. I ain't know Dr. Dre just got brrr. I ain't know that. I just know I never saw nobody accept the award like that before in my life. Yo, he was mad. Dr. Dre was mad. I never seen nobody accept the award like that. If you didn't see that awards, look, family, go back, Google it, and go back and check out that award show. When Dr. Dre they went upside his head before he went and accepted that award. And watch him accept that award. You don't know what happened, but you know something just happened. Yo, when I say Dr. Dre was mad, he was steaming. I mean, he was Ricky Steamboat Flair. All right, he was upset.
That same night, Snoop was there too. He ran away from Dre, not towards Dre, so I don't think they're as tight as they say they are, because he watched the man get whooped on. After that, they told the police on me. They sent the video to my parole.
They always tell the police on Suge. They was trying to get rid of Suge. All right, Why didn't he know that? Why? Because listen, when you think like a gangbanger, you act like a gangbanger. All right. He assumed they was too scared to go to the police. All right. And then when he knew they was going to the police, he thought he was just spending a bunch of money and get out. No, it come a point in time when you a problem and you need to be dealt with. You feel me? It wasn't just the black dudes complaining about Suge. All right. You heard what he did to Vanilla Ice and Jerry Heller. Listen, bro, they was going to get rid of him.
Parole officer, they made it one of my parole conditions. If I be any way around Andre, I'm going to jail, getting a violation, and going to prison. I couldn't talk to nobody that he knows.
Look, as always, family, it don't take much to be nice. We all gotta live in this planet together, walking in and out of each other's space. Respect is important. Look, family, I'm kicked out of the algorithm, so ain't many people gonna see this video. So make sure you like the program. Share the program if you will. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Look, I love you, family. As always, I will return.